A real beauty reigns in this flower shop chain in the capital. Florists do their best to satisfy the most rigorous customers. But a silence was forced upon this shop by the sudden news of first lockdown back in March.
На тот момент я находился в Алматы, и нужно было срочно принимать какие-то решения.
I was in Almaty at that time and we had to make some quick decisions. There were a few uncertainties, so we ended up closing down. For some time we were just waiting for further developments, new government decisions. So as soon as it was allowed, we started the delivery service. Fortunately, we already had some online presence prior to this, so we just had to make only small adjustments to our operations. First, we moved everyone into a single location and created one big team that could work on all of the orders from central point. Secondly, we created a large online product showcase, as our clients no longer came in physically and would order through Instagram instead. We had to present our wide flower range on Instagram now.
И нам приходилось делать огромный, ассортимент в Инстаграме.
Instagram turned out to be a magic wand for most of the entrepreneurs. Even the most offline businesses had to adapt to new conditions. For example, Albina Moldenova is an owner of an art and needlework school, and she had to reinvent some of her traditional sewing course offering. We had to come up with a way to continue earning revenue, as our landlord never reduced the rent, and we had to keep paying the full amount. So I got this idea to start selling ready-made patterns online. I actually thought of it earlier in winter, as I noticed some of the Russian sewing bloggers doing this. There are some software applications that allow you to make sewing patterns, dresses, trousers, shirts, anything really. I started with an easiest. The first ones were t-shirts at very low prices of 1000 tenge each. Their size range was broad too, from the smallest to the largest, for men, women and kids. As soon as I put them out there, I received so many orders. Like within just 2 hours, I managed to earn 50,000 tenge. In other words, 50 people wanted to get my e-patterns delivered to their emails. And afterwards, they would glue it together, cut and sew it. Desperate housewives weren't the only ones learning new skills during the lockdown. Forced downtime is great to master your professional skills too. Talshin Yurimbetova, a beauty salon owner and a coach, switched her courses to online format and used the same time to study. I think that my example is that of a big leap. I am now studying a lot from my profession. I believe that every job calls for learning of new skills. As such, I'm now learning such new skills as marketing and business to help me as a manager. Doing it online is so easy. I don't waste time going somewhere. I can do it at my workplace. I just need to make time for this. It's really cool. I like it. And it's cheaper. You don't need to fly in somewhere like Minsk or Ukraine. Schools are now accessible online from anywhere. Time is the key modern resource, and its plentiful supply helped the likes of Yevgeny Startsev, an owner of a small trendy bar. At first glance, all of the cafes and restaurants are closed and food delivery isn't their strong suit. Our first step was rather standard. Make our existing Instagram page more appealing. Our traditional business model relied on live interactions, and here we were posting on Instagram. We used some targeted ads on it and saw some growth in audience, but not a lot. But we didn't see the same growth in sales. So we thought of what to do next. Our new idea was to open an online shop. So with the help of some of our customers, we created the first Kazakhstani online shop from scratch, and in just 2 weeks. It worked. This interesting project that we would have been mulling over in our heads for another 2-3 years, had these events not shown us that these businesses can and should run in parallel. That is, a bar is a place for getting together with friends and an online platform for selling rare beverages. Of course, we will develop it further, and it's growing as we speak, so I see it as having great future potential.
Для некоторых компаний это возможность выстрелить, для некоторых компаний это возможность наконец-то перейти и оцифровать свою деятельность. Мне кажется, это положительный тренд, потому что таким образом...
It's a breakthrough opportunity for some firms, and for some others, it's a chance to digitize their business. I think that it's a positive trend, because you can keep yourself and the customer safe and improve the quality of your services. And you can also reduce some of the administrative costs associated with running an office. You no longer need, say, call center reps or a receptionist, since you can create some Telegram bot that'll answer questions and help customers choose products. A lot of the businesses, including advertising, are now turning digital. So there is no longer a need for outdoor ads or event marketing, as the bigger customer flow is online. SMM, online PR, banners are what's in demand. It's all shaped by the fact we need to maintain social distancing.
От заказчиков именно идет в сторону диджитал сферы, то есть интересуют услуги SMM, интересует услуга онлайн-пиаров, но это все остается в рамках того, что нам нужно оставаться друг от друга в социальной дистанции.
Janat Kojakmetov is one of such people who had to switch from event marketing to something else. When people all around the world were sitting at home, Janat, thanks to his hobby, managed to run away from his problem, literally. I've been jogging in mornings and training people for the last 3 years. Usually we began at 6 a.m., finish by 7, come back home to change, and be in the office at 9. This was my schedule till March. Later, when the coronavirus worries started in March, there were questions about our business model and if the firm needed me. Back then I had an office job and run corporate events. And of course you can't have events during a pandemic. It was okay until the lockdown with all ties to the outside would suddenly cut. No work, no hobbies, no training. So I decided to train people online. Those were streamed from my home. We run in our kitchens, around our flats. People survived as they could. Sanjar Karimbekov's startup also tried to survive as it could. Prior to lockdown, his firm supplied the capital's cafes and restaurants with peeled vegetables. But shut-down restaurants made him target individuals who were confined to their homes instead. We also sell vegetables wholesale. We didn't have this service before. During the lockdown period, we adapted quickly by organizing home delivery and widened our range. We count around 80 goods now, and before we only had around 15, most of which were peeled and non-peeled vegetables. There were no fruits. Right now we have at least 18 types of greens. As the quarantine measures got lifted and restaurants started to open slowly, our clients are coming back and can notice the change. We didn't used to have potatoes, onions and carrots, but now we go like, we have this and that and this also. They are pleasantly surprised and place orders. It is amazing how the quarantine helped Oleg Vishnikov's business. We used to have a pawn shop. Now we abandoned cars and golden jewelry and shifted to charging commission. We realized that people's purchasing power is lower now and that our services are in demand now as never before. There is a higher demand for second-hand appliances and people no longer buy brand new. I myself bought a second-hand mobile phone for the first time in my life. So we realized that this trend can help our business grow. In addition, people use our services as loans so they can receive money fast. Everyone is in need of money during crisis. You need the right business approach. If you put your soul into something, it then blooms like a flower in a desert, despite of the harsh conditions. I would say that we target the mid-range price segment. Not too cheap and not too expensive. We actually sell many of the flowers to our friends. Our philosophy is to exceed expectations by making bouquets appear expensive on presentation, but then they actually don't end up costing the customers a lot.
Их впечатление. То есть мы можем собрать там букет буквально недорого, но людям...
And we strive to keep up the variety. As of today, we have over 50 different flowers from different parts of the world. We continue to grow.
Более 50 позиций разных цветов из разных стран мира. Мы постоянно растем, то есть если мы смотрим...
The stats show month-on-month growth. Except for in April when we had a slowdown due to not operating fully as the result of the quarantine. In May, things have rebounded, although the level of growth isn't the same because of restrictions on opening times. During the lockdown, a lot of us were forced to stop hurrying somewhere all the time and rediscover the joys of close contact with our loved ones. Businessmen have also started relying on each other more for help.
Нужно просто общаться с другими предпринимателями.
Networking is a real asset. Talking to each other and exchanging information helps. I sought out solutions from my friends' experiences. For instance, at first, we didn't even know where to get masks from, but soon the answers came through our network. One just needs to keep on trying, and the solution will come to them.
Если человек будет пытаться найти решение, в любом случае он найдет что-то.
Первое время, как только карантин начался, мы начали активно шить масочки и халаты.
When the lockdown was announced, we started sewing face masks and PPE with the help of our students. We supplied this to one pharmacy and charged them very low prices. All of the raw materials, such as the fabric and the bands, were purchased by us in advance. There are 6 people working for us. Many of our students are keen to earn a bit of extra on the side. We took this one very big order to produce 1,000 masks in like 6 days. Many hands were at work throughout the period. We managed well, and although we didn't earn much, at least we ensured that the sewing business remained afloat during the quarantine.
Не настолько упал, а во время карантина мы, наоборот, более-менее держались на рынке.
The Coronacrisis brought a lot of challenges but also new opportunities to discover the new emerging trends faster, learn the weak sides of your business and make amends. I've been working for 17 years, and it's not the first crisis that we've seen. Hairstylists are always in demand. People continue to seek out good stylists, and they are in constant shortage, because not all of us upgrade our skills. I think it's the same in any profession field. You can continue doing the same job, or you can achieve a promotion. The best investment is an investment in yourself.
Бизнесмены думают на 10 шагов вперед постоянно, поэтому в голове должны быть всегда какие-то новые идеи в такие вот...
Crises always bring new opportunities. That's why entrepreneurs tend to think 10 steps ahead. You have to keep thinking of new business ideas during these tough times and never allow yourself to feel down. Nowadays, you need to diversify your business lines and have different streams of income. It so happened that my husband has temporarily lost his job, and so we worked together to start producing Eva car floor mats. We already had a sewing machine, and it was a fairly easy sewing task. My husband managed to sew them. It's now an additional income.
Машинка. В принципе, там шить особо не нужно, потому что у меня с этим справился. На сегодняшний день, получается, мы открыли с ним еще один дополнительный бизнес.
Those who changed their business models and went online continued getting the revenues. This is because people still wanted to shop for, say, flowers or clothes during the lockdown. All the stores and malls were closed, but if the demand was there, you could still sell. There are firms that did very well, and there are some that barely made it. But in many of the cases, firms managed to make something out of it.